Do you want the hair down your back, or do you want your slicked up ponytail? Because you cannot have your cake and eat it too. Not every day. Can't have cake every day. And I know there's a lot of YouTube videos out there as we speak doing up this. All of this. Yeah? Nah. Stop it. Shut it down. It's mashing up your headpiece for no reason. That's one of the biggest reasons you're not retaining any length. I promise you, this is from a trichologist. Stop. Please. How do I actually grow 4C hair fast? And by the way, I don't like the term 4C. I think it's low-key useless because it doesn't help us to truly understand the characteristics of our hair that matter, but I'm using it because I know it will help other people to understand the hair I'm talking about. I'm gonna start by reading an excerpt from my new book, How to Love Your Afro. For anyone who has the book at home, I'm reading from chapter 16, Length Retention. Have you ever heard or somehow believed that Afro hair doesn't grow? This is a common narrative in the Afro and curly haired community, but it is simply not true. Unless otherwise stated by a medical professional, your hair grows from your scalp every single day. Often, our inability to grow long, healthy, natural hair stems from difficulty in retaining the length that we grow. And outside of genetics, which does play a part, don't let anybody tell you that it doesn't. There are definitely things within our control that we can do and also stop doing that will hugely positively impact our natural hair's ability to retain as much of its length as physically possible. So first, we need to understand our length limit, which is a term I know a lot of people have never heard before. I heard this for the first time from a trichologist that I interviewed for Texture Talks. By the way, you can find the episodes for Texture Talks on my channel. Plug over. Samantha Stewart is a certified trichologist with over 30 years worth of experience specializing in Afro hair. And me and her chopped it up on my podcast Texture Talks to talk about relaxers.
So if you think of hair removal cream,
yes,
the alkalinity of hair removal cream is about 12.
Okay.
So that means on the pH scale.
Yes.
So hair removal cream is a depilatory, which means it dissolves disulfide bonds and dissolves the hair.
Okay.
A relaxer is anything between 9 and 11, 12.
Oh.
So when you see those images and you
yes,
one and that lady's hair was literally
slipping from her scalp.
She had completely
melted
her hair because of the overprocessing,
which honestly blew my mind. There's so many things I was getting wrong, and I have no doubt other people probably are too. So I would highly advise everybody that's considering going back to the creamy crack, going and watching that episode first. And in that episode, she told me about our length limit. Everybody has a genetic limit of length that their natural hair can achieve. And while everybody's length limit is of course different, the main issue, especially with black women with Afro hair like mine, is that a lot of us will never be able to reach it and be able to actually see how long our natural hair can really be. Not because our hair doesn't grow, but because of the issues that we tend to have with retaining and keeping the length once it comes out of our head. So let's rewind it back a little bit and start at the beginning with how our hair actually grows. It's the piece of the puzzle that a lot of people either don't understand or just skip entirely. But it's probably the most important piece of the puzzle when it comes to working out how you can get hair down your back. Our hair grows roughly ½ an inch every single month in the anagen phase, which is the growth phase of our hair growth cycle. And if it's not disrupted, it can last anywhere between 2 to 7 years. And our length limit is how long our natural hair would be at the end of the anagen phase, having retained as much of that length as physically possible. That is the dream and the goal for a lot of us, I know. Now, before I give you the tips and tricks on how we can retain that length, it's also really important to understand how our natural hair deteriorates, which is another thing that I just don't hear people talking about enough. Our hair will naturally degrade and deteriorate over time. And this is due to a combination of biological processes and daily wear and tear and manipulation. This is something that every single person will experience, even if they don't have Afro hair, because all of our hair is a material. And much like with any other material, say this hoodie I'm wearing, over time, as we touch it, we wash it, brush it, interact with it, the quality of it will naturally and gradually break down and become weaker. Nothing we can do, that's just how material works. And that is why we must do everything in our power to mitigate any further degradation of our Afro material, because that is how we can hold on to much more of its length and keep it as strong and resilient as we can. I'm gonna use the book as guidance just to show how much good information is in here, okay? Detangle your hair only when wet. No dry detangling. Always starting with your fingers and then moving on to a good quality detangling brush to ensure all snags and tangles are removed. Here are my 2 favorite detangling tools. This is the Felicia Leatherwood detangling brush. This is a Badman brush. I am obsessed. It has the flexibility here. So it never fights my snags. It moves with the snag to make sure that I'm not ripping my hair. And the second is from Big Nanny's hair products. I love this wooden comb so much. It's so beautiful and so firm, and just, it feels cultural. It feels like more than a comb. It feels like a keepsake. And because it's got such smooth ridges, it doesn't rip and snag my hair, which some of my other combs definitely did. I put the information on where you can get both of these bad boys in the description. You are welcome. When detangling, always make sure you start from the ends of your hair and you work your way up gently to avoid pulling and breaking the hair. This step might seem really basic and obvious, but of every single expert I spoke to, they say this is where we lose the most hair. Poor detangling. Next tip, low manipulation. This is one that I know some people are not going to want to hear, but you're going to listen because this is so important. Use low manipulation styling practices such as infrequent brushing and combing, which will degrade the integrity of your hair over time. If you are brushing and combing your hair and slicking it up into a ponytail, you in the back, I know you know I'm talking to you, you heard me. Stop it. Not every day. We don't need it every day. It looks nice, yes, but we don't need to be scrubbing up the headpiece like that, because that is one of the biggest reasons that you are unable to retain your length. You've got to choose. Do you want the hair down your back, or do you want your slicked up ponytail? Because you cannot have your cake and eat it too. Not every day. Can't have cake every day. It's not good. It's not healthy. On our hair care journeys, I feel like a lot of us aren't making any sacrifices, and we expect that we can do all of these harmful hairstyles and still have our hair swishing in the wind. It's not true. You're lying to yourself. Stop it. It's not gonna happen. This step will help minimize your chances of breakage and excess shedding. The next one, I know you're gonna drag me for. I've been dragged for it before, and I'll be dragged again. But I don't care, because I love you and I want the best for you. Avoid frequent use of curl sponges and bristle brushes. Both curl sponges and bristle brushes are made of the kind of rough material that can create a lot of friction along the hair strand. Over time, this friction can snag and break the delicate coils of our hair. Curl sponges, especially when used vigorously, and I know there's a lot of YouTube videos out there as we speak doing up this, all of this, yeah? Nah, stop it, shut it down. It's mashing up your headpiece for no reason. That's one of the biggest reasons you're not retaining any length. I promise you, this is from a trichologist. Stop, please. Not every day. It's the frequency of a lot of these things. It's not that you can never do it. It's the frequency and how gentle you're being when you do it that will make the biggest and noticeable changes that will actually help you to retain more length. This rough manipulation of your hair can cause the hair strands to break or split, leading to shorter hair and more difficulty retaining length. Same goes with bristle brushes. When pulled and dragged along the hair strand, it can create fracture points, which are basically exit points in your hair strand where moisture can then leave the hair and the hair can snap and break. That's why a lot of times when you use a bristle brush, say every day, you might notice you have more split ends, more fairy knots. That is why your hair is ripping and breaking. If you do choose to use either of these styling tools, try to use them infrequently and gently. Also be very aware that when you are pairing drying gels to the use of these tools, that is also not helping. A gel with a stronger or harder cast is generally going to be more drying for the hair. So if you're pairing that with tools that have very rough material, and on top of that, you are also vigorously and aggressively using the tool, it's a recipe for disaster. It's a perfect storm for you not to get hair down your back ever. And finally, get regular haircuts. And I know it's difficult because sometimes you will go to a professional and you go for a trim and you end up with a bob. A pixie cut. I've been there. I got scalped and shaved down to nothing by a hairstylist that was only supposed to just take a little bit off the ends. So trust me, I'm not judging you. I could have dragged her there and then. But the point is, you need to find a professional that you can trust long-term and partner with on your hair care journey, because unfortunately, if you are not getting regular trims, then you will definitely suffer and you're not going to retain the length that you want to retain, because the hair at the ends of your hair strands is old and it is dry and often damaged, because that is the hair that you have done the most to. If you are not cutting that hair off, then that damage is likely to travel slowly up the hair strand, and then it's going to ruin all the good hair that you have just grown. Haircut frequency will vary from person to person, but a general rule of thumb is that you'll aim to see your stylist once every quarter. So 4 times a year as a minimum. But realistically, once you get into a flow with a professional and you partner up with a pro, they will tell you whether this time frame needs to be adjusted or not. If you want to get direct support from me personally, or gain access to more educational content like this, and get discounts and offers from hair care brands, hair care professionals, trichologists and dermatologists that can help you on your journey that I trust and recommend myself, check the description for how you can join my brand new initiative, Afro January, that I am currently running this month to give everyone's Afro a little reason reset, ready for the year ahead. And you can learn more information about how you can buy yourself one of my Team Texture heat hats, or if you want more information on my brand new book, How to Love Your Afro, and where you can purchase it from, I've put all the links and information down there. And make sure you're subscribed for tomorrow's video where I answer the question, I don't like my afro in its natural state. What do I do? Love and blessings. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.